But it's time now to look at one of the big stories of the week, as always, with GB News' very own Neil Oliver. Except that this week, Neil Oliver himself is the story, with a viral video of his monologue from his Saturday night show, which more or less broke the internet. In case you missed it, here's a clip.
I ask myself if our leaders even like us. I've said before on this channel that I believe we, the people, are living now in a version of an abusive relationship with our government. Words I do not use lightly or to cause offence. Behavioural Insights Team, Nudge Unit. If your partner was using mind games and other psychological tricks to make you do what he or she wanted, always with the undisguised threat of unhappy consequences should you fail to comply or submit to those wants, you'd be right in thinking you were in an abusive relationship with that person. Here's the thing for me. For months, years now, I've been fighting to stay afloat in an ocean of numbers and statistics. They fly in the air like bullets and shells from all sides. It's been like standing in no man's land in the middle of an endless battle. I've mostly stopped reading the numbers and simply remind myself that this all began with 3 weeks to flatten the curve, and yet now we face lives hobbled forevermore.
Brilliant stuff, powerful stuff indeed. I'm delighted to say Neil Oliver joins me now. Hi, Neil.
Hello, Mark. It's good to see you.
It's great to see you. Every Saturday you write a thoughtful and thought-provoking monologue. What was so different about this one? You broke the internet. Almost 1 million people watched it on Twitter alone.
Well, I don't know. I think what it principally tells me is that I'm just articulating and speaking out and giving voice to thoughts that maybe millions of people have. I, like you, have the great privilege of having a platform and an outlet, a means by to get my words and my ideas broadly circulated. And the fact that maybe 1 million people have watched it, I think it's not about me. It's about the fact that all those people are saying, yes, that's what I think. And I know it for a fact anyway, because on a smaller scale, all the time when I'm out and about around, I live in Stirling, and I walk around the town, I go shopping, I walk my dogs, and people of all kinds, all ages, approach me all the time. My wife and I, when we're out and about, and they say, thank you for saying these things. This is exactly what I think. I think the numbers that are attached to this clip that's gone out there and has attracted so much attention, it's just testament to the fact that this is what a vast number of people think. And the fact that is not being aired is a tragedy. It should be more broadly circulated. These ideas that I expressed are commonly held, and I think governments around the world, and certainly here at home, should be taking note. I'm speaking out as one person, but I speak up for the millions, the silenced millions.
And the point that really resonated was that we're in an abusive relationship with our own government, an abusive dynamic.
That's absolutely what I think, 100%. And I've said it before, and I will say it again if the situation doesn't change. I don't know why, but I hadn't realised until relatively recently. Laura Dodsworth wrote a wonderful book, A State of Fear, in which she talked about nudge units and that kind of that way in which we're being manipulated. I hadn't realised that our government and many governments around the world were openly deploying psychological mind tricks to move people into a state of fear in order to, and once people are frightened, once people are feel that they've lost their moorings, they can be moved in any direction that a government wants. And I found that horrifying, and I find that horrifying. There's something dreadfully cynical about it, that the government doesn't even seem to care that we know, or they're not trying to disguise the fact that they are plainly and blatantly deploying propaganda, fear, psychological tricks, social engineering to get as many people as possible to comply with their agenda.
Well,
I
Neil,
find that immoral.
Neil, the Prime Minister,
I just find that wrong.
The Prime Minister joked about locking us up for a year and a half in his conference speech at the Conservative Party conference. He literally joked about it. The Deputy Madam Speaker of the House of Commons laughed as she decided there wouldn't be a vote on the Coronavirus Act. And Jacinda Ardern, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, happily admitted, enthusiastically confirmed that she's bringing back apartheid in New Zealand in relation to your medical status. So all of these public figures are hiding in plain sight.
Yeah, they're not even hiding. Those who have been elected to serve us. I mean, let's remember that there's clearly an extent to which some of these characters believe they rule. Like kings of old. Like emperors from 1,000 years ago, they feel that they rule. But these people are elected to serve us, and yet they are openly and blatantly dripping with contempt for us. And I'm constantly finding myself, shouting at one screen or another, saying, who does that person think he or she is? I didn't vote for that person to have this kind of dictatorial power over my life and my destiny, and I don't think many of us did. And I appreciate the fact that there are millions of people who, for all sorts of reasons, their jobs, their circumstances mean that they are too frightened to speak out. I get that, and I understand it. However, I find myself in a situation where I can speak up, and I will speak up, and I will not be treated with contempt by these people. I will not stand by
Neil,
while those who are only elected figures adopt a position whereby they seem to believe that they rule over us, and they don't.
You are the moral and intellectual conscience of GB News. You are the moral and intellectual conscience of the nation.
Welcome to the GB News YouTube channel. You can watch us live 24 hours a day, catch up on your favourite shows, and join in the conversation in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe and you'll never miss any of our exclusive content.